Just thought I would get a clip of this. It's late Friday, but it's been raining for several days heavily. And we'll just zoom out of it here so you can see just how big this moving hurricane front is. So we got all of that out ahead of it. And now it's finally moving out, but the tail is still sucking moisture up out of the south. So that's all right. We needed the rain. We got excellent rain out of that, and it's supposed to clear up and be sunny now. So perfect timing. So it's Saturday, August 10th. We had a lot of rain this week. I was just looking back to see what my last foliar feed was, 8-4, and it's 8-10, so it's been 6 days. And I was thinking about doing a foliar feed this evening, but I think I might do it Sunday or Monday. I guess I could do Monday and send off a plant sap sample. I don't even know if I'm going to do that at this point. We're so far into the season. But all it really give me is a snapshot. I don't know. But things are growing. The cover crops have taken off nice. And we're finally getting some actual sun now. So all that moisture and nutrient can do something. And everything was good considering we basically just had not a full-fledged hurricane, but hurricane rains and some pretty strong winds come through. So good to come up and see things are looking good, and I'm sure with the sun over the next 4 or 5 days we're supposed to get, that things will really take off, and that's good. So there you go. All right, well, here's a shot from the middle of the block. You see things are looking pretty good. What is that? Ooh, that's a Colorado potato bug right there. Oh, and we got some chewing on that one by the look of it, although that might just be a little bit of burn from dryness or overfeed. Thought we'd just get a kind of a walk down the rows and look at the plants. Nice explosive new growth coming on them with the rains and the foliar feed, so that's good. And I think I'm almost definitely going to do a foliar feed Sunday night. I want to stay on my 7-day schedule again because we need to finish these plants. We have good moisture now, and I got to do what I can to crush it this season because honestly, this season has pretty well crushed me. So now it's my turn to crush it. I suppose we should grab a thermal image shot here. You can see when the soils are wet, they warm right up uncovered. We're already showing 103, 110 in the shade. We're looking at 82. And you can see the mix there where the leaf cover is and where it isn't. Put that line across it for you. Look at that. We hit a max of 112 in there. So again, covered soil armors it, whether it's mulch or growing plants. Let's give you a look at these tomatoes down here that survived the deer on the cinder. Throwing on new. These are, by the look of it, not going to be anywhere near as big as that previous year that I grew these, when I had soils tuned better and mulches tuned better. And I was really dialed in on tomatoes and I could stake them and all that. But it's a good test of the soil and the soil's capability and capacity and current state. And it tells me that the soil can really crank tomatoes, no problem. I just have to get the infrastructure in place for next year I said about not hurting our pollinators. Anyway, we'll be able to get our infrastructure and our soil set up better for next year, hopefully. Get our machinery fixed and up and running, and by then, all my video editing related, computer related stuff hopefully will be fully functional. I think I have most of that straightened out at this point. There's a few more tweaks and things to do, and then there's some more new parts to add, but those are going to have to wait. We got many steps ahead of us here between harvest and tractor repairs and farm design and all these other moving pieces that affect the entire system as a whole. You know, the system, like we always talk about with soils and plants. Same thing for anything else. I'll just briefly point out again the different stages of cover crop emergence or germination. Because of the drier weather we had before, some of that stuff up higher in the soil wasn't germinating. That's a big part of why I like to disc or till or drill seed into its appropriate depth whenever I can. That really aids in germination, especially through dry weather. But we have the ones that germinated that were drilled down, and then we have another stage that's popping from the rain. And then with the super wet weather we've had, there's another stage here popping behind that. So just thought I would detail that a bit. Just get a shot of the cover crop here. Looking good. I guess I'll just give you a clip of this section briefly. Not much to remark other than that the growth continues. The holy basil is filled in pretty nice. It's continuing to fill in pretty nice. Tomatoes are coming. This holy basil is flowering and seeding like crazy. I probably will harvest a bunch more seed. And it's loaded with pollinators. Little tiny pollinators everywhere. And I'll just point out all those pollinators in here. We're not seeing them out here. I do hear a bumblebee out here. I'm sure there's a couple. But you can see what just a tiny, tiny little strip of regenerative agriculture can do. And just remember, we're just looking at a couple of plants here. This strip is 100, well, the holy basil is probably 50 feet long. And look at the number of pollinators just in this plant or two. So it might seem like a minuscule effect, but it's not. Well, that looks a little more promising for photosynthesis. Just remember, you always reap what you sow.